Hey guys, I'm here today to do my June book haul. It's a very short one, I only have 6 books to show you. That's like a record minimum, probably for like a year and a half. That's the smallest book haul I've had, and it's because I'm trying to accumulate less books. I say this and then next month it'll probably be ginormous again, but fingers crossed not, because I'm just so excited about so many of the books I already have on my shelves. I'm really trying to read lots and accumulate a little so that it gradually works its way down. So firstly, this first one was unrequested, but I decided to keep it because it sounds and looks wonderful. And that is Japanese Notebooks, A Journey to the Empire of Signs by Igort. And this was sent to me by Chronicle Books. They published lots of sort of coffee table books, graphic novels, picture books, lots of really beautiful books with artwork in them. And this came out in May, and it's just really pretty. It's basically a compilation of, I think, stories, pictures. I think there's some non-fiction, I'm not really sure, I think it's probably a blend of fiction and non-fiction. It's very beautifully put together, as you can see. So I'm intrigued by this one. I'm going to give it a go and I'll report back to you hopefully soon. Now the next book is absolutely stunning, and I'm so happy to have it here and be able to show it to you guys finally, because I've been excited for it for so long. And it's Franklin's Flying Bookshop by the wonderful Jen Campbell. Now this is illustrated by Katie Harnett, and she's got gorgeous illustrations, so a pairing of Jen's words and her drawings is just perfect. It's been packaged beautifully. I absolutely love this copper foiling. I think that's just a wonderful idea. And Johnny's not often very interested in books I get sent, and even before he knew this was Jen's book, when I opened it he was like, wow, that's a really beautiful book, and I was like, yeah, I know. And I had a little read of it as soon as it came through. I will read it a few more times through because I just love it, and it's just glorious, and I think all children should have a copy, and any adults who love picture books like I do should also have a copy, because what I do is I keep them sitting out. So rather than buying pieces of artwork, my favourite type of artwork is children's book illustrators, so I have these sitting front out on shelves. So it's very beautiful. It comes out in September, so you've got a bit of a wait, but it's wonderful, so definitely look into this one. Then we have a couple that I've read one of them and I'm halfway through another. So one of them is Tinman by Sarah Winman. Now this is the advanced reader's copy, so actually the final copy of the book will look like this. I'll put it here so you can see what it will look like. The final copy comes out on the 27th of July, so you've got a little bit of a wait. I'll also link a review up here I reviewed this book with a couple of other books. It's just wonderful. It's a story, it's set in the 90s, and it's about a middle-aged man who his wife has fairly recently passed away, and he's not really coping, and he begins to reminisce about a childhood friendship he had with another boy, and how this changed in their adult life, and then the relationship with his wife, and the combination of the relationships between the three of them. It's a gorgeous book, very British, very filled with nostalgia, for me at least. And I said in my review, if you enjoy the works of sort of Cara Spray, Joanna Cannon, that sort of thing, I think you'd really enjoy that book as well by Sarah Winman. So I'm hoping to let myself buy a couple of books next month, and Sarah Winman's previous books are very high on that list, so I really love that one. And then the next book I'm going to talk about, I'm halfway through, and that is How Saints Die by Carmen Marcus. I requested this one from Vintage because it sounded like my sort of thing, and it comes out on the 13th of July, so not too long to wait. Now this is her debut novel, and this just sounded glorious. So effectively, it's about a young girl who lives in Yorkshire on the coast in the 80s, and her mother has recently been taken away and put in a mental hospital, and her dad is bringing her up, and they live a very sort of dated lifestyle, I guess. Her father was a fisherman, and he now makes all the equipment for the local fishermen. And they don't have a TV, they don't have central heating, and they don't have a car, and so she's treated very oddly in school. And so it's a wonderful working class family drama, which you guys know I love, but tied in with all that is it's beautifully written. I'll describe this more in my review video because I don't really know how to describe it succinctly, but also it really draws on fairy tales and mythology. So if you enjoy books that really focus on the sea and the coastline and the magical nature of that, then this certainly has that. But there's also nods to the fact that her mother may be a Selkie, and her father tells her that he found her in a fishing net, and he pulled her out and brought her home for luck. So it's told from her perspective. She's 10 years old. it's wonderful. I'm really loving it. So that's How Saints Die. And then I have 2 more books to talk about, and I requested both of these. This is The Veneration of Monsters by Suzanne Burns. I quite like this cover. I think it's quite, I don't usually like brown on covers, but I think it really works for this one, and it's quite creepy because if you can see, it's sort of these really big fingers. They look like they're from a statue or something, and then a very feminine hand on the top. So yeah, this came out I think last month. It's from Zank Books. They're an indie press in the US. I really like their books. And it says it has an array of unusual heroines searching for love and acceptance, a pursuit that often takes a bizarre turn. Charisse tries to impress a man who only exists in her imagination. Violet throws away a once-in-a-lifetime relationship with a vampire in favour of online acceptance. Tabitha searches for the woman who stole her line of fate. Lara wants to marry a man who believes every lie she tells, and Irene becomes so enamoured with the idea of attracting violent predators that she becomes what she seeks. So I think this is going to be quite bizarre and perhaps quite dark and twisty, so there's that. And then lastly we have a non-fiction book. Now this one is not going to be an easy read by any means, but it came out in the US last year. I looked into buying it then, but it was just so expensive to get hold of in the US, so I sort of decided to wait until it was released in paperback in the US. And then it was, I saw it in a catalogue for, again, Vintage Books, and they're releasing it straight to paperback in the UK. And that is Stamped from the Beginning, The Definitive History of Racist Ideas in America by Ibram X. Kendi. So this comes out on the 6th of July, so not long to wait at all, and it's a mammoth book. It's nearly 600 pages, so I'm very, very glad they decided to publish this straight to paperback, because this sort of book in hardback is just a nightmare, so I think this has been done well. But I want to know more about America in general, but this really is where my interest lies, in American history. And it says this groundbreaking and award-winning history chronicles the journey of racist ideas from 15th century Europe to present-day America, forcing us to reconsider our most basic assumptions about the origins and extent of racist thinking. And it says, at the heart of its fast-moving narrative are 5 remarkable people, all major intellectuals of their time. Puritan minister Cotton Mather, President Thomas Jefferson, fiery abolitionist William Lloyd Garrison, brilliant scholar W.E.B. Du Bois, and legendary anti-prison activist Angela Davis. Through their lives and works we see that racist ideas did not arise from ignorance or hatred, but were developed, disseminated, and eventually enshrined in society by some of the most brilliant thinkers of each era. So I think this is going to be a really difficult read. I think it's going to be devastating. And whilst it's limited to the US, I think this sort of thing is applicable around the world, especially in a country like the UK, which in terms of its, I guess, economical and sort of technological standpoint is fairly similar to the US. So I'm going to try and read this really, really soon. I feel like this will give me a really broad knowledge, and then I can look into certain areas that I perhaps find more interesting and read more detailed accounts. So hope this is a good starting point. So there's that beast. So those are the 6 books I received in the month of June. Let me know if you have any of these, or if you have any of these on your list to pick up. I know quite a few of them aren't out yet, but they will be soon. And yeah, thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next video.